We are back at Hot Pit Road Racing. We just had a good diesel story, didn't we, Diane?
And that story will never get old.
It won't.
It just gets better and better every time you tell it.
You know, I think real quickly before we get to Roadrunner here, I'm going to tell the first time I met Diesel, I did some fill-in workout at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway as a track announcer at the Bull Ring, and Diesel's class I think ran first that night. And he covered the field. I mean, he did. He laid everybody to dust that night. And he come across in the checker flags in the air, and I said, there he is, the winner of your event tonight in the number 21 machine. And I called him Denzel. And the way people spelled their names or pronounced their names, I wasn't sure. And so the race had finished, and about 5 minutes later, this young man on my left-hand side over here came up to the tower, and he walked in. And he was he waited for a pause, and he hands me his autograph, his hero card, and he autographs it to me, and shakes my hand, and he looks at me, and he says, by the way, Alan, and I said, yes, sir. And he says, my name is Diesel West. So from that point on, I made sure I had it right all the way around. News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at State Farm Insurance. Mr. Gregory Moore is here with us, and we're going to talk to him in just a couple of minutes. But if you need some great insurance, whether it's going to be your home, your auto, your life, or even car loans, contact Mr. Moore at State Farm Agencies, located here in Las Vegas at 4312 West Charleston Boulevard. You can get a hold of him, 702-870-9298, or on the web at GregoryMoore.net. And what a great, friendly staff they got over there, Diane. We're our official insurance company for our renters, and we're going to be putting our auto insurance with him and everything else. But you got a quick word from our good friends at Roadrunner.
Yeah, Roadrunner Engine Parts is the place to get all of your automotive engine parts. They're located at 71 North Pecos Road here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Suite 109. Their showroom is open daily Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And now Saturdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They provide an unsurpassed level of customer service, satisfaction, the highest quality of parts at competitive prices. For all your engine part needs, including motor mounts and fuel pumps, they've got you covered. They also carry a full supply of everything to make your job a lot easier. They know what they're doing. They're dedicated to keeping your vehicle running. Roadrunner Engine Parts, 71 North Pecos Road here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Suite 109. Give them a call, 702-333-0123. Check them out at their website at roadrunnerengineparts.com, a proud sponsor of On Pit Road Racing.
Yes, it is. And this segment is brought to you by our good friends at State Farm, and we'll talk to Mr. Moore in just a minute. But standing to the far left-hand side here in the control room, he is the 2016 Madeira Junior Super Late Model Champion from Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. Diesel West. Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So tell us all about it, buddy. I mean, you went to California this year, and I mean, there was some stiff competition, but you won. Actually, it was the inaugural of the Junior Late Model program. So tell us about the season.
Well, we started out this year. We weren't sure. We heard about this. We went out there. We were fast right away. We learned a lot. The main thing we learned is you got to stay out of trouble at that track. If you start getting rough and then you go to the back, it's really hard to make your way back up.
I heard I've not been up there, but I heard it's a really tough, tight, old school, back in North Carolina short track. And you said if you get bumping and banging out there, you can go to the back real quick, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Junior Super Late Models, tell us about the car.
Well, my car was really good this season thanks to my crew at Dustin Nash Motorsports. They worked really hard. We are going to come back next year, hopefully run the open late model class that they're going to have out there, and also run the junior late model.
Okay, so will there be any racing for you here in Las Vegas at the Bull Ring? They don't have a junior late model program here, but they do have the late model, so are you planning on running a little bit here in Vegas and up in Madeira, or just strictly up in Madeira?
Well, next year I'm going to try to run the super late out there, but we're getting ready to go racing this weekend at the Silver State Road Course in my Legend car.
Oh, so you're still driving the Legend car, huh?
Yeah, we're just going to start. We're going to mainly do the road course stuff, and I'm going to be running pro.
Wow.
Wow.
Pro. Did you hear that? Pro.
And how old are you?
13.
Okay.
13 years old.
I know, it doesn't even have a driver's license yet.
I was going to say, Gregory, he's a couple of years away from auto insurance. That's something. 13 years old and running that. Mr. Gregory Moore has joined us here, a proud sponsor and a good friend of this program. And good afternoon to you, sir. And how's everything in the insurance business?
Everything in the insurance business is doing well. You know, this time of year, Thanksgiving just came and went, and it's the beginning of the holiday season. So I'd like to remind everybody to be safe out there, right? That's probably the number one thing to do.
Okay. Let's talk a little, since we're in a racing show, let's talk about car insurance and what State Farm can do for you about if your policies are running up with a competitor and you're looking to save some money. So let's talk a little bit what State Farm can do for you.
Absolutely. Give us a chance to take a look at it and see what we can do for you. I've got a great team there. I've got Anna and Carolyn, and I've got Jamie, Ruby, Triana, awesome pit crew to take care of everything. Couldn't be here without them. And then, as I mentioned, the safety factor is huge, right? Distracted driving is one of the top issues that we have in Las Vegas. Recently, we had over 300,000 people join us for the Thanksgiving weekend, and as we go through the end of the year, we just keep moving new people in and out, and we all drive with them. That cell phone, put it in the seat next to you or behind you, and just don't touch it. Hard for me to do.
Yeah, and it is, and hands-free devices, but, even hands-free devices can take away from the distraction, especially nowadays, the text messaging and all the instant messaging that goes on. I'm one that when I get in the car, I either hand it to her and let her do it, but, people need to get rid of the cell phones and not be playing with the cell phones in the cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would imagine when we start talking about distracted driving, at 13, he's got it just nailed. You pay attention to what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I tried.
He tries.
I'm thinking if you turn pro, you do better than try.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What about race cars? Do you insure those?
Don't insure race cars, right? Insure race car drivers when they're out on the street.
Diane?
Diesel, you're 13. You've got a few years to go before you actually get your license. And I'll ask Dad this too. Will he have to take how we used to have driver's ed?
Oh, absolutely.
Or do you think he has enough experience and skill?
Well, behind the wheel control of the car.
Right.
He's got that down, obviously. But I remember when I started driving, I came from a racing background too. Just little things like when you're driving down the road and you see a green light, and when it turns yellow, that decision point.
Right.
Do I lay on the brakes, or is it too late?
Right.
So it's just it's a little different, and you got a little more defensive driving too. Now you got to pay when you're on the racetrack. You're out there with 30, 40 cars
exactly
that are on their toes, and they're doing everything they can to get in front of you. On the road, sometimes it's like that too, but you got to watch out for those other drivers. That's
right.
That's the big thing.
Wow. Do you ever critique your dad on his driving?
Yeah, sometimes.
Just going down, the highway, you go, "Wait a minute, Dad." Do you do that?
Sometimes.
Do you kind of pick up on things that he probably shouldn't have done, or wow,
Yeah.
no road rage and stuff like that?
He don't road rage.
He doesn't
Gotta tell him sometimes to put down his phone though.
So Dad's driving with the phone,
Not all the time.
One of the things that I would mention for us, behind the wheel drivers training, especially for somebody who turns 16 and starts their driving career officially, if you will. Driver's Edge is a course that's offered here, and huge recommendation and shout out to those folks, because that's an awesome program. Along with that, you've got behind the wheel drivers training. You've got grades. Your 3.0 or better in school makes a huge difference. Multi-car, multiple line discounts, and of course not having a ticket or an accident, and maintaining that throughout that career is another huge factor.
We still got more to talk with Diesel and Mr. Gregory Moore, but I want to remind you, if you want to get side by side with some of the greatest stars and most iconic legends in NASCAR history, an intimate, up-close, personal setting, well, let me invite you to join the NASCAR Cruise. It sets sail out of Miami, Florida, January 29th through February 3rd. We've got more information. We'll talk about that coming up and where you can get a hold of the great sales reps and all the representatives from Michael Lazaroff and company. It's all still coming up. More with Diesel West and Gregory Moore as we head into segment number 3. We'll take a quick commercial break. You're watching On Pit Road Racing from the Frank's European Service Studios at the WCOBM. Back right after this.